If two witches were watching two watches, which will watch which channel?
Witches were watching two watches, which would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching which...
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching
Two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches,
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch?
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch?
Were watching two watches, which witch will watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch?
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches,
if two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch?
If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches were watching two watches, which witch would watch which watch?
Six lick.
Six lick, pick snake, six lick, bricks with picks and sticks. Six hits Nick, six lick, bricks with picks and sticks. Six hicks Nick, slick, bricks with picks and sticks. Six lick, hicks Nick, six licks, bricks with picks and sticks.
Six hicks nick six bricks with picks.
Tongue twisters are always fun to watch, and they are super helpful in English pronunciation also. So teachers out there, please do try this warm-up activity to get your students energized before your class. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Lalita, and in this channel I upload videos for English lessons focusing on English grammar and also the spoken English skills with lots of vocabulary and idioms with so many illustrations. So your English learning will be thoroughly enjoyable. So stay with me throughout the video. A man was arrested for 8 robberies. I was pushed and suppressed, says Khushbu. Now politics here. Why am I reading the newspaper here? Because to emphasize the importance of the grammar topic of today, the active and passive voice. The usage of passive voice is so common in newspaper headlines. If you want to take your language skills to the next level, you should understand the different types of sentences and the different ways it is being used. Active and passive voice is a very important topic in English grammar, and it is very useful in everyday spoken English also. What is active and passive voice? I read the newspaper. Subject I, verb is read, and then the newspaper is the object. This is an active voice. The newspaper is read by me. Here the subject goes at the back. So this is called passive voice. The passive voice is used when the subject is not known, or when we are not interested in the subject, or it is well understood. What a lovely song it is. The song is sung by the famous Lata Mangeshkar. Now I am going to show you a few pictures for you to understand this passive voice. The Brihadishwara temple in Tanjore was built about 1000 years ago. The first mechanical computer was invented by Charles Babbage, an English mechanical engineer. Tenet, the popular English movie of 2020, was written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Pranav was awarded the first prize for his outstanding performance in the class. Watch some more videos to make this concept very clear.
Hi, Usha. Hi, Sangeet. Welcome. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Hi, Sangeet.
Hi, darling. I'm so tired. Now I need to prepare dinner.
Dinner is already prepared, Ma.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
By whom?
It's me.
Really? No?
No, this bought from Swiggy.
Yes. Swiggy?
The lunch is prepared. Food is bought. The room is being cleaned. Now let's see how to change an active voice into passive voice. To change active voice into passive voice, I'm going to give you 5 simple, easy methods. Number 1. Identify the subject, verb and object in a sentence. Number 2. You are going to invert the subject and the object. The object comes first and the subject goes at the end. Now look at the subject. If it is pronoun, it has to be changed into object pronoun. Now the most important one, the verb. When we change the verb of active voice to passive voice, look at the tense of the verb in the active voice. In passive voice, you will always use past participle, the third form of the verb. So this has to be learnt definitely. Remember, you do not change the tense of the verb that is used in active voice. You have to use past participle, the third form of the verb, in all the cases. Look at this example. She reads a book. She is the subject, reads is the verb, and a book is the object. When we change this into passive voice, the object comes first, a book. And what about the verb? This is present tense, so we use is. The book is read by her. The pronoun changes to object pronoun her.
Now it's time for our celebrity couple Mukund and Anu. They are lawyers by profession, but they have a passion for English, that too especially idioms. Let us see what they have in store for us this week.
You have a heart of gold. Have a cake.
Don't kill me with your kindness. I know you watched Taming of the Shrew yesterday.
Found it.
Oh, the idiom is killing with kindness. That's an interesting one. Like Anu rightly said, it was used by Shakespeare in one of his plays, The Taming of the Shrew. What does it really mean? It means to bother or harm someone with excessive kindness. Haven't we all experienced that in our life before? If so, please do share it in the comment box.
Hey, did you see this? So many people are crowding the market and none of them are wearing the mask.
It's shocking. Yes, I was shocked too. Can't believe how reckless people can be. So absurd.
Wow, look how concerned the generation next teens are. Don't you think that youngsters these days have much better social awareness than adults? Okay, coming back to our prime objective of this week's vocabulary, we have a specific word to describe the herd mentality of crowding marketplaces. The word is preposterous. The word preposterous means absurd, ridiculous, and acting against common sense.
Checkmate.
Wow.
Sami, you played a very good game.
Thank you.
Sakita, she'll go places. Given professional coaching.
Sam seems to be an expert chess player. You would have probably heard of the word child prodigy to describe such gifted children. There is also another word for that, precocious. Precocious means a person who has developed certain skills, abilities at an age earlier than usual.
I hope you found the class interesting and enjoyable.
I'm Mrs. Ramanarayan, retired English teacher. Please subscribe to Lalita Hotel's enjoyable English course. It's very useful and educative. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. See you again with another interesting video soon. Bye-bye.